Once upon a time, a poor carpenter lived near a great forest with his two young adult twin children, Hans and Frans, and their cruel, selfish, right-wing stepmother, Cindy. A great recession came, and the carpenter could no longer earn their daily bread. Plus, the brothers Hans and Frans decided to tell their parents that they were both gay. One night, the twin brothers woke to hear their stepmother's shrill voice. "This half a loaf of bread is all we have. I will not starve for the sake of those fairy children of yours. We must give them each a scrap of bread, take them deep into the forest, and lose them." She nagged and read scriptures out of the Bible to the man, and gave him no peace until he agreed. Hans comforted his brother, saying, "Chill, dude. I have a plan that will enable us to find our way home." As the wicked woman proposed, the brothers were led deep into the woods at daybreak. Hans's plan was to leave a trail of breadcrumbs by which they could find their way back. But, looking back, he found to his dismay that the birds of the forest were eating the crumbs as fast as he threw them down. In the very middle of the forest, the brothers were left by a fire and told to stay. They ate what bread they had left, and at last lay down and slept in each other's arms. When they awoke, it was dark. The beasts of the forests were prowling all around them, and they did not know which way to turn. Lions and tigers and bears, oh my! For 2 days and nights they wandered through the forest, frightened with only each other for comfort. They had nothing to eat but wild berries, and nothing to drink but water from the brooks, and we know what that's like these days. On the 3rd day they came upon a clearing, in the middle of which stood a little house. For a moment they couldn't believe their eyes. The house was made of cake and gingerbread and cookies and candy. It was a Martha Stewart dream come true, and with cries of joy the starving twins rushed to the house and began to eat as they had never eaten before. Suddenly they stopped, for a harsh, shrill voice had cried out, "Who's that nibbling at my house?" The owner of the voice appeared. It was a hideous old witch who had once been a beauty queen in Florida, and who had built the gingerbread house to lure young gay men in order to convert them to her lord and master. Seizing Hans in her claw-like hands, she cackled wickedly as she stripped him of all but his bikini briefs and shoved him into a little stable and locked it. "Now, lazy bones," she said to Frans, "heat some water and cook food for your cute brother. When he is fat enough, I will perform the ultimate conversion." For 3 weeks, Hans was fed the best of everything, while Frans got nothing but rotting oranges. Each day, the witch asked him to stick out his finger so she could feel how fat he was getting. Hans fooled her over and over again by sticking out a chicken bone, but at last she could wait no longer. "Frans, light the oven," she commanded. "Today I will make a feast for my lord." When the greedy, ignorant witch poked her head in the oven to see if it was hot enough, Frans gave her a mighty shove and banged the iron door shut behind her, then turned the handle to lock her in. At that moment the witch's spell ended. All of the gingerbread men who had formed the fence around the house came to life, laughing and shouting for joy. Suddenly the oven exploded, and out popped the witch. She had been baked into gingerbread herself. At the noise, the carpenter came rushing into the clearing from the woods. Their stepmother had been accidentally killed by a member of her own group at an anti-abortion demonstration, he told them, and he accepted them for who they were and had been searching for them ever since. He led Hans and Frans and all of their new gay friends back to their homes, where they all lived happily ever after.
'cause you're out of the dark, you're out of the night. Step into the sun, step into the light. Keep straight ahead for the most glorious place on the face of the earth or the sky.